My name's Lisa. I'm here with the Bob Brown Foundation at our Southern Swifties blockade. We've been here for a month now and we've got a whole lot of structures across the road blocking access into this logging coop. The coop that we're protecting here is in the Hopeton region in southern Tasmania. It's an area of forest that Forestry Tasmania calls HP 29E. We call it Beautiful Forest. It is an amazing forest and all the blue gums are in flower here at the moment, and the swift parrots have been here since we've been setting up. And they've been nesting in these trees and foraging in these incredible blue gum trees.
The swift parrots population has been declining over the last 30 or 40 years really, or longer, since their habitat is being destroyed by logging. They're really specific in what they require. Need blue gums, flowers to feed on, and they also need mature trees that are usually at least 90 years old that have hollows where they can create a nest and raise their young in there.
The Bob Brown Foundation is very passionate about ending native forest logging, and we are really ramping up our campaign against native forest logging this year. So what we really want to see is the Tasmanian government to make the same commitment that the Victorian government and the Western Australian government have made and end native forest logging. There is no place for native forest logging in the middle of this climate and biodiversity crisis that we find ourselves in at the moment.
Today we're here in the southern forests of Tasmania with a group of citizen scientists to document the critically endangered swift parrot. So we conduct these surveys with the Bob Brown Foundation for people to get into the forest to see the public forests that are managed by Forestry Tasmania. So our aim is to document swift parrots in areas where logging is due to happen in the next few years.
But what's its diameter?
6.3 metres.
The forest is at the moment protected from logging because of the presence of so many people who have come through the camp. People come for the day, or they come to stay for the weekend, or they come to stay for longer. Sometimes people come and stay for weeks at a time, which is fantastic. Everybody is welcome here. This is a space where everybody can come, get to know the forests, understand a little bit about how protecting forests works on the front line, how blockades work. So if you're interested in coming and getting involved, you can always get in touch with the Bob Brown Foundation and look into coming out and visiting our camp here.
A lot of this habitat is under threat from logging by Forestry Tas, clearing the land. There are prescriptions that Forestry Tasmania is supposed to abide by with not cutting down blue gums that are over 40 centimetres in diameter, but unfortunately a lot of the time these prescriptions don't get followed. We see up in these clear fell areas where everything's taken and they're not leaving any habitat behind for this species. The current estimates for the swift parrot population is between 300 and 800. So depending on where the blue gums are flowering will really drive where they live for the summer. This makes it quite difficult to estimate their population.
It's a tiny little bird, they fly very, very fast, but they migrate back and forth every year from mainland around Victoria and New South Wales. They come down to Tasmania every summer to breed. So they're only here for a short time, but this is a critical time for this species to be able to continue their population, basically. And what we're seeing in recent years, unfortunately, as a direct result of the deforestation and forest degradation that's happening in Tasmania, is that the swift parrot numbers have been plummeting. So we are here on the front line taking action to stop the destruction of swift parrot habitat. And we're also fighting this battle on a number of different fronts. We have a legal team who are taking Forestry Tasmania to court to place the argument that this logging is illegal. Every summer we've got people that are coming out into the forest and surveying for swift parrots and gathering information. So this is a bird that we don't know a lot about. It's a bird that hasn't been extensively studied, and so through our citizen science program, we're also increasing the possibilities for people to get involved, to come out into the forest and to contribute to learning more about this beautiful little bird. We're going into a number of different forests all around Tasmania, and we're assessing the suitability of these habitats for swift parrots. So many of these forests that are threatened, these forests that are on the chopping block, these forests that are due to be logged within the next 2 to 3 years, these are very high density and very important habitat forests for the swift parrot. Swift parrot habitat should not be logged under the Environment Protection Biodiversity Conservation Act.
It's really important that we protect their habitat because their numbers are so low. Future survival depends on keeping this habitat intact.
If we don't want to lose this species from the face of the planet, as we've lost so many other species in this beautiful land. Every single piece of forest that provides this habitat for swift parrot needs to be protected urgently. And we will continue our citizen science campaign into the future in the coming summers for as long as we can, for as long as the swift parrot is still around.